When you were our age in high school, what was your biggest struggle as a musician, and how did you overcome that to become the musician you are today?
Phew. My biggest struggle was just being sad. I mean, my dad was always saying, man, you can't play. So for me, I always wanted my father and the other musicians who could play to say, you can play. But they were always like, I was telling a story earlier about my father. After I won 2 Grammys, my father had gone out, he saw the Grammy Award show, and he was in Hollywood. He's not into all that kind of stuff, you know. He's not against it, he's just not into it. He saw what it was.
The nominees for the Best Jazz Instrumental Performance Soloist, they are at the Vanguard, Joe.
Art play Keystone. All right, Art play Keystone 3.
Sunny Stitt, the last Sunny Stitt session, Volume 1.
And Wynton Marsalis, Wynton Marsalis, Think of One.
Yeah, Creole music.
And the winner is Think of One, Wynton Marsalis. Oh!
Thank you all very, very, very much. First of all, I'd like to thank my mother and father for putting up with me all of these years, practicing and making all of that noise on the trumpet. Then I'd like to thank everyone at CBS Records, which I think is a very great record company. My product manager, Jack Rovner, great publicist, Marilyn Laverty, of course, executive producer, Dr. George Butler. I'd like to thank everyone. I don't want to leave anyone out, for presenting my work with the quality that's necessary to get to the elite jazz audience. And then I'd like to thank all of the guys in the band, because without the band, I wouldn't be able to play anything. This music is very difficult. Kenny Kirkland on piano, Jeff Watts on drums, Charles Fambro on bass, Johnette Moffett on bass, my brother Grandpa Marsalis on the tenor and soprano saxophones. And last, but certainly not least, I'd like to thank all of the great masters of American music, Charlie Parker, Louis Armstrong, Thelonious Monk, all the guys who set a precedent in Western art and gave an art form to the American people that cannot be limited by enforced trends or bad taste. Thank you very much.
Kind of assessed it. So after the show, I was in my father's room. I was getting ready to go out, have a good time. Asked my daddy, my mama there, hey man, you know the Grammys. My dad said, yeah man, you know the Grammys, that's pretty good. Yeah, somebody's got to win. He said, Hollywood, wow, yeah. He said, hey man, you don't think this means you can play, do you? And like you have to understand him to know that I did not in any way take it as trying to douse me. It was a legitimate concern. Hey, somebody's got to win these awards. You won one. But Clark Terry can play, not you. Learn how to play. So for me, the whole thing was, can I play? Can I learn how to play? And the second thing I always wondered was, can I actually become a jazz musician? Because we're mainly playing funk and pop music. Can I figure out what it takes to actually play real jazz? And I love the music we play. So I also don't want to give y'all the impression that I'm against styles of music. Some vulgarity I'm against. I'm really against it for kids. But there are many styles of music. There are many types of people. And you can learn something. My father used to always tell me, go play this gig. Play every gig you can. You can learn something from any style you play. It's just important to be clear about the function and purpose of styles, not to be prejudiced against styles. You can take any style and create whatever you want from that style. That's our natural creativity. But I would say that my major thing was, can I learn how to actually play like Clifford Brown or people on these records that really can play instead of like me? Victor talked about hearing his sound. Boy, when I heard my sound, I wanted to harm myself. I had no idea I was that sad. So, you know, that's how I was thinking. Anybody want to? Yes, sir. Tape.
Okay. Hello. Hi. I want to address your question because I had, along with Carlos Enriquez and Patrick Bartley, had the opportunity to be in your position of being a student at essentially Ellington. For me, it was back in but when I was in high school, because your question you asked where were you at, what were you struggling with at this point, and how did you get to this point, right?
Yeah.
When I was your age, I had the distinct feeling that if only I got to here, then I'd make it, right? Got into essentially Ellington, I met Wynton Marsalis, I'm good. No. That just put me into a different category of people that all knew Wynton Marsalis. Now you're one of still 8 million people, right? If I just got a scholarship to college, then I'm in. Move to New York, then I'm in. Get the call from so-and-so, then I'm in. And every level that actually ended up happening, I realized, no, now you're just here. There's never a point where you feel like you got it. You know, I mean, you go back to Socrates. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. The thing that develops is your ability to deal with the parts of yourself, your playing, your life that you want to improve. For me personally, it was a matter of getting better at accepting the things I couldn't do. That's what I had to deal with. It was really hard for me at 17 to accept that I sucked at something. I'm older than that now. I'm more aware of the things that I can't do, and I'm okay with that, right? Certain things, they're harder for me to do than others. But you're always going to feel like there's something that you're trying to get to, right? It's not a stepwise thing. It's a constant plane of improvement and trying to get better at stuff, right? And I think for me personally, that's how I can look at it from this point of view as opposed to that point of view. But know that you're probably going to be asking that question a lot for the rest of your life. But it's a good question to be asking.
Thank you.